Hey guys, cinema movies here, and today we're covering a 2012 horror movie called Scary or Die. The movie starts with a guy who enters a house at night. He turns on a PC and types scaryorDie.com in the search bar and finds a video titled The Crossing. He clicks on it and it buffers as the screen fades to black. In the next scene, a girl named Connie is sitting in the front seat of a truck. She is sandwiched between the driver, named Buck, and the other guy, Keith. Keith pulls a jar out of the back and starts drinking something. Connie asks what it is as she feels a strange smell. Buck explains that it's homemade alcohol. Keith asks Connie to drink some while loosening her up, and she starts kissing Buck. Keith puts her hand on his crotch. After a while, she asks them to stop for a bathroom break. They park at a rest stop. Connie gets off and heads to the bathroom. Buck follows her. In the meantime, Keith buys snacks at the store. He starts talking with the cashier if he's ever lost at a coin toss. Keith soon realizes that the man doesn't speak English very well and starts to say racist things to him as he pays. When he is paying, he notices that Buck and Connie are making love in the bathroom. Keith heads out to the truck to eat his snacks. As he is eating, Buck and Connie come out of the bathroom adjusting their clothes. They sit in the car and drive. As the car drives off, we see the shopkeeper dead at the entrance of the store with blood on the floor. The trio drives off to a barren terrain. As Connie complains about Keith's smell, they park in the middle of nowhere and Connie asks what they are supposed to do. They get out of the truck and head to the back. Buck removes some sheets to reveal two men tied up and laying down in the trunk. Connie asks if they've been there the whole time and asks Buck to let them go. Buck makes them sit up and removes their gags. They are both immigrants. Buck tells them that they are trash and are ruining his country. One of them, named Jose Cuervo, tries telling them that he is a tax-paying citizen. In the meantime, the other old man tries to run away. Keith pulls out his gun and shoots the old man. Connie cries over his body and tries to wake him up while Buck slashes Jose's throat as he begs for mercy. After that, Buck tells Keith to take care of the bodies as they wonder where Connie went. Keith starts peeing on the newly dug graves of their victims. Connie returns with a shotgun and holds it to Keith's head. She demands the keys to the truck and knocks Keith over with her gun. When Keith tries to get up, a hand reaches out from the grave and claws one of his eyes out. After that, zombies start to rise from graves. First they kill Keith and start to eat him. After him, one of them gets Connie, but Buck saves her. But he doesn't save himself and becomes zombies' food as well. Connie gets a chance to run away. After that, we see two soldiers sitting on a cliff. They see Connie running in the distance and they shoot her. Considering that she might be a zombie, they leave her for the animals and move along. In the next scene, we jump back to the man on the PC. The person clicks on another video titled Tay Jugs Lament. This video takes us to a bar in a city. A man is seen drinking heavily in a bar. Then he gets up and starts walking out of there. As he lights a cigarette, he walks down the stairs to the street. At the door of the bar, he sees a couple making out and he starts staring, which makes the other guy angry. The man keeps walking down the street until he reaches a store. He buys a flower from the store owner and walks to an apartment complex. He reaches his door but hesitates for a moment before opening it and then gets inside. He puts his flower in front of his dead wife's picture in a pot and walks out to the terrace for a drink. He lays awake all night imagining her around him. In the morning, he lights some incense for her as her ghostly apparition stands watching. After that, he heads to the mall where he follows two young girls around until a guy asks him if he needs help, to which he refuses and walks away. At night, he is sitting on a bench. Some girls pass by him. One of them gets abducted by a man. Tanjung tries to help her but gets pushed away by the kidnapper. The kidnapper forces the girl to get into his car. The man manages to throw his phone in the gas tank as it speeds off. He sits on the sidewalk and takes out his laptop to track his phone. He starts following the tracker all around the city through streets, tunnels, and parking lots. He finds the car in an old lot near the river. Some thugs are trying to steal the car. They scare Tae-yoon off with a pistol and he runs away. As he is about to leave, he finds a person stumbling in the alley. From a distance, he watches a man brandish a knife over an unconscious woman's body. He realizes that she is the same kidnapped girl. He cleverly approaches the man with a rock and hits him in the head, causing him to fall in the river. After that, he makes sure the woman is all right and he drops her home. She thanks him for saving her life. He advises her to call the police, but she tells him that she can't do that because they will send her back to where she came from. As he is leaving, she runs after him with his jacket and a note inviting him to a party the next day. She kisses him and insists that he must come. He agrees. Meanwhile, the girl's friends walk over to her and take her back inside. In the next scene, he is lying in bed imagining his wife standing on the balcony. He spends the next day wandering around bringing fresh flowers and drinking on his balcony. As usual, he is tossing in the bed when he finds the party invitation on his side table and decides to go. The next day, he goes to the place. The young woman greets Tae-jang. He gives her the flowers. She accepts and takes him inside, where she performs an odd ritual along with some of her friends. The ritual turns into an orgy. We see a couple of dead butlers in the halls with blood dripping down their throats. A tall man is walking down the hall with a bag. He reaches the woman's door and pulls weapons out of his bag. Inside the house, the women suddenly reveal their fangs and start to bite into Tae-jung's neck. It is then revealed that they are actually vampires, and the man outside has the name Van Helsing written on his bag. Then we are again taken back to the computer screen where the person clicks on another video with his burnt hand. The video title is remembered. In this scene, a man driving down the highway is pulled over by a cop. The cop tells him to put his hands on his wheel and checks his driving license. He asks if he's drunk, but he denies that. The cop is about to walk away when he hears a noise in the trunk and asks the man to open it. He unwillingly follows the orders and the cop goes back to look inside. Cut to the next scene. We see the same man in his bathroom. He is mutilating a dead body in his bathtub. After that, he washes up, gets dressed in a nice suit, and puts the body into a bag. He writes a note to get payment for the murder job and leaves it on the desk. After writing it, he sits down on the sofa with his feet on the table and smokes a cigar. He is looking into the dead man's stuff. He finds a satanic symbol that he doesn't understand. After a while, he puts the body in his car trunk and starts driving on the highway. Then he notices some noises and checks to find nothing unusual. While driving, he sees a weird apparition that makes him swerve on the road. This leads to the earlier mentioned incident with the cop. The man pulls a gun out as the officer checks the trunk, but surprisingly he finds nothing and lets him off with a warning. The man then parks the car to look into his trunk, but only finds the old satanic medal and the note. He gets confused and then he starts listening to loud breathing sounds. It makes him scared and he instantly runs back to his car, where he finds the dead man in the front seat. The dismembered parts of the dead man are now restored. Then the dead man suddenly disappears, making him believe that he was just a figment of imagination. Just as he lets his guard down, the dead man reappears behind him and cuts his throat off. The next video chosen is called Clown. It starts with a guy named Emmett spending a date at the beach with his little brother Andy and girlfriend Kelly. He is playing football with him and scores a goal. Andy runs off to find the ball under the huge deck while Emmett